Alright guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be doing a simple 30,000 mile, well every 30,000 miles Subaru recommends changing your brake fluid. So we're going to be flushing out the old brake fluid and putting in some new and making sure there's no air in the lines and such. So I am going to get started. Okay. So we're going to jack up the vehicle first. And the way it works is for all Subarus, the best approach, or the way that I've always done it, is you want to start from the farthest wheel or farthest brake from your from the master cylinder. So you are looking at the passenger rear, then you're going to do the driver rear, passenger front, driver front. You also, with Subaru, or at least with the WRX, and I believe the STI as well too, brake fluid and the clutch fluid are the exact same. And I do not think I could get to it without taking off my front or my top mount. But to bleed the clutch line as well too is basically on the right side, on the driver's side, but underneath that top mount there. And we all know how fun that is to take in and out. So because I have to take that out next week, so that my tuner can take a look at like the knock sensors and stuff, I think we're going to relocate it just because it's ass, excuse my language, I am sorry. But so since I'm going to be taking it out next week, I will do that next week, because to take that off 2 weeks in a row is not worth it, unless this is all I did with life, which I wish. But anyway, so what I'm going to be using is, so I have the Motive Power Bleeder. It is a lifesaver if you have no friends and you are bleeding the brakes by yourself, which I am. If you have a friend, they could simply step on the brakes and pump the brakes for you to bleed them. But since we can't, this helps pressurize the system, and you'll see how it works when we go through it. I am sticking with the OEM brake fluid, at least this time around. Next time I may go a little bit more serious. This is just .3, but the car is still young. It's 30,000 miles, so we'll stick with OEM. This is going to be my friend to help me bleed the brakes. It's going to be the catch container, so to speak. And also too, I would recommend something as simple as a turkey baster. But since for some reason I don't have that, why the hell would I have a turkey baster? I just picked this up from like AutoZone or whatever it may be. Really simple. It's like $5, and this will help pump out some of the fluid out of the master cylinder, which I'll show you when we do that. So other than that, let's get the car jacked up and start removing the wheels. Alright guys, so first things first, gloves. Put on gloves. You do not want this brake fluid getting anywhere. It will corrode and destroy everything. So definitely wear gloves. What I'm going to do is, so I'm going to unscrew my cap here and take out the little like filter that's in there. Put that off to the side. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, with my fake turkey baster here, I am going to suck out the brake fluid that is in there as much as I can and put it just into the Motive bleeder here. So okay, so now that we have the fluid drain from the master cylinder, I'm going to pour the brake fluid into the power bleeder. And then save these bottles, well, at least one of them, because you're going to need it at the end. Alright, so once we had all the fluid poured in, we're going to attach this to the master cylinder, and we're going to pressurize the system. So I'm going to pump this up to anywhere between 15, 17 psi, and we're going to let it sit for about 5 minutes. Make sure that we don't have any leaks, and see if that psi drops. If it does not, then we know we're good to go, and start with starting with the passenger rear brake. Alright, so we got it pumped up to literally about 16.5 psi, and like I said, we're just going to let it sit now for about 5 minutes and see if we got any leaks anywhere. So what you're going to want to do first is we got to take this cap off. I actually use a screwdriver to help me get underneath there, and I'm gonna need 2 hands, so I'm gonna put the camera down, but and I'm gonna pull that off, and then that is a 10 millimeter, because you're gonna need a wrench, and that's what's gonna help you open the valve so it can be bled. Alright, so we take the cap off, and then we are going to throw on a wrench. Look at it. I can't get 2 seconds. Can I help you? She wants to play soccer. Unreal. She wants me to kick a soccer ball over and over again until she basically passes out. What I do is, so wrench goes over first. And then on goes this, like so. And then we want the bottle to be higher because we want the air to come out. Air is going to rise. Simply going to crack this about a 1/4 turn. And I hope you guys can see the fluid that's coming out. There was a few air bubbles. So I'll let that run. Maybe about 30 seconds. I'm not seeing any air bubbles coming out, which is awesome. But what I like to do too, so I like to shut it. Oh fuck. So I like to shut it and then reopen it. Shut it again. And reopen it. And honestly, it's looking really, really good. This is your longest line, so I will let it run a little bit longer. But it is looking really, really good. So, that being said, close it off, and then bring the bottle below, and then I just kind of pinch the line off, like break it off. Alright, so I will show you one more time on the driver's side rear. Hopefully this video is decent enough for you guys so you can see. So now, again, I'm gonna take off the cap. We are gonna throw this line on. Hold the bottle up, and then really kind of just about a quarter turn. Hopefully my arm's not in the way. Let me see if I can go from up here, that way you can see if any air bubbles come through. So crack it. Not really. There's a few. But again, I'm going to let it run. So again, about 30 seconds, I don't see anything. So I'm gonna close it, crack it again, a little more. Close it, crack it again. Do about 2 or 3 times. Again, nothing. So it's looking good. Looks like there's no air in the system so far, so it looks good. And then tighten this up. Again, you really don't want to over tighten it. And then drop this down, and again, just kind of break the hose off so you get all the fluid to go back down into the container. So pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Next, I'm just going to be doing the passenger front and then driver's front, and then I go through and do the system twice, just to double check, make sure everything is all good. But it's really as simple as that. These tools really help a ton. You don't have to use this. You can most certainly use a hose and a water bottle, an old water bottle. And again, the Motive Power Bleeder, it is model 107. That fits both the STI and the WRX. So, and our PSI has dropped a tiny bit. We're at about 15 right now. So I'll pump that up again, back up to 17, and then do the fronts. All right, guys. So once you've done all 4 tires 2 times through, like I said, at least I do it 2 times through. That's my preference. I've really had very minimal air bubbles, just on the initial crack, but then everything else was flowing really nice. But what you're going to want to do is depressurize the system. So the way you want to do that is you want to take the cap off of the actual power bleeder first before removing the cap from the master cylinder. All right, so then normally what I would do is, so I would take the remaining fluid that was left over in the power bleeder, and I would top this off up to the line that says max on it, and it is already there. So all I'm going to do is unscrew the cap, put the filter back in, put the cap back on, clean up whatever mess I made, and yeah, we're good to go. So I definitely appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully this was informational. Hopefully it helps out. If there's any questions, any concerns, definitely leave some comments below. Otherwise, please like and subscribe. So any subscribe, any like, it all helps with this algorithm thing. So yeah, like I said, any questions, let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching, guys.